APC, Egbekegbe are asking and begging Atiku and Obi to give Tinubu ideas on how to fix Nigeria economy, insecurity, and all the maladies facing Nigeria instead of criticizing him. They want them to give him ideas now. Can you even believe that?
Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, share with your friends to have access to this kind of content that you have here. Don't forget to subscribe. I love and respect you. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, I sort of shared a copy of a supposed press release from the APC, Egbekegbe, Al-Qaeda People's Congress, Apanyan People's Congress. Some said that Apanijaye People's Congress, whatever you want to call them, just remember to add Egbekegbe, and Egbekegbe is the bad society. Now, that is exactly what APC represents, by the way. However, those who told you that Tinubu has been planning to be Nigeria president for the past 30 years, Baba, within the space of 9 months, Nigeria is currently at the departure lounge. And the same characters who wanted to gaslight you, call you names to keep you quiet, they themselves are pretty much unable to keep quiet anymore because hunger no be anybody's mate. You can pretend for all you care. On social media, it seems that we are all okay. We're all doing fine. Rich people. Fantastic. But off the social media, Baba, whatever you are reading right now, all lamentation complaints you are currently seeing on social media, can never be compared to the ones that are really physical out there. I am saying that to you because I have evidence. People can't really pretend any much longer. I am not saying that those who are complaining most, the loudest of them who told you will cry for 8 years, but 8 months, their tears are already flooding our streets. Now, those, like I said, those ones, which are pretty much like, there are those who are adding spice to it. So, some of you who never expected anything from Tinubu, you are not disappointed, even though you are also affected. But somehow, a lot of you have found a way to sort of embrace what you knew was coming that you probably couldn't stop. So those who called you names, those who found the ember of a division, ember of ethnic division, religious division, and all of them, they cannot pretend for too long. What in shape with Tinubu, they have already started cursing him. But remember this, that does not mean they will not do it again. Do not believe in their tears per se. Just remember the Yoruba adage that says, when the eye is producing goes, what do? You what? You will remove the speck. I've been waiting the peck. You will remove that. Sorry, in Scotland they call it gooey. So anyway, you will remove the peck and show the eyes that see the death you have just produced. The reason why we will continue to flung it on their faces and continue to remind them that we might not be able to understand the anguish and pain that they are trying to express. But somehow, we just want to remind them that they are the cause and the causes of their own unfortunate, situation. And if they continue in that trajectory, if they are not killed by it, they will be totally destroyed. Show it to them. Federal government that went outside to borrow money, but had no security to protect the investment. They ended up filling bags with sawdusts in order to display them as pyramid rice in Abuja. They did not fear that it could rain. Rice that people will eat. They transported them into open space, conform pyramid, took pictures as the success of their agricultural revolution. But guess what? It never changed the price of food. Instead of the price of food to go down in Nigeria, at least you know the story now. Share you get. They can't provide security. But he just mentioned in his speech there that they have cultivated 400,000 hectares of land in the north, where they are growing millet, maize, and all of that. And you we get sense. You believe him, Abi? In 6-7 months' time, you will be asking them, when are you going to harvest the 400,000 acres of land you cultivated? The one you told us in October. They begin to tell you story again. It go turn to fight again. Everything will be like, they are still working on it. Even if they have to go and take pictures of people's farms to show you. but the price of food in the market will never be affected. How many of you remember this lady? I love internet, Baba. Do you remember this lady? In February 2023, after the Yorubas and then others in Lagos destroyed the criminal structure that Tinubu and his Agberos continue to brag about, shame them, trash them. A girl, a lady like this, took to social media. First, she danced. The second, she called out the Yorubas who rejected Tinubu as Omo Ale Yorubas, who sold their father's houses to Igbos. And that is why they are supporting Obi and they are rejecting Tinubu. Internet never forgets. 8 months, we are going back to that National Assembly again anyway. But do you remember this lady?
Ẹ má ṣàgídí Ọlọ́run ló ń pín. Ẹ má ṣàgídí Ọlọ́run ló ń pín. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ gbà fún Tinubu. Olórí burúkú ọmọ àlè Yorùbá. Ó ti talé bàbá ó ti gbé fún Igbo. Òun ló ṣe ń ka lára. Ẹjọ́ ṣe lásìmọ̀ máa ranjú lẹ̀. Ó máa jákọ̀ gbà lọ́wọ́ Tinubu. Àbí neighborhood máa ranjú lẹ̀. Àbí lọ́mà máa ranjú lẹ̀. Àwọn Igbo nìyẹn bó ṣe wà nínú Olúwọlé. Tó ń ṣe bísínẹ́sì wọn tó. Peter Obi yìí ló dìbò fún. Ẹ̀yin olórí burúkú ọmọ àlè Yorùbá. Ẹ wá bèèrè pé kí ni Tinubu ṣe. Ẹ lè rí nǹkan tí Tinubu ṣe. Gbà tó wà ní gọ́vnà láti Ọbalẹ́ndé títí dé Tom Jones. Òun ló la títì. Òun ló ṣe títì ló ṣe kọ́tà. Tí gbogbo everybody rìn bó ṣe rùn. Ó tún ṣe wọnú Tom Jones. Ló ní anybody máa rìn bó ṣe rùn. Ẹ̀yin olórí burúkú àwọn bèèrè pé kí ni Tinubu fẹ́ ṣe fún. Kí ni Peter Obi fẹ́ ṣe fún wa. Ìgbà tí Buhari Ọlọ́run bí ọrùn àgùnfọ́ tó fẹ́ wọlé ó ní màálù ẹyọ kan lòun ní. Peter Obi tuntun já búrẹ́dì lé wa lọ́wọ́ pàgọ́ ẹyọ kan lòun ní. Pàgọ́ ẹyọ kan lòun ní. Wọ́n máa débẹ̀ tí wọ́n máa dọ̀kọ̀ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ kí Tinubu náà ṣe. Ẹ jẹ́ kóhun náà ṣe. Ẹ jẹ́ kó ṣe. Ẹ̀yin olórí burúkú tẹ́tí mú lè bàbá yín. Tẹ́tí ta fún Yíbò. Tẹ́tí tún sẹ́sẹ̀. Ọmọ Èkó tí sojú títì tí ẹ tún sẹ́sẹ̀ lè bàbá yín. Olórí burúkú yín ló ní ti Tinubu báwo. Gbogbo tó bá lè ti Tinubu báwo. Ó máa jẹun ló máa ṣọwọ́ lódò ni. Ẹni kìlọ̀ ṣe ẹ lè rí nǹkan tó ṣe. Ẹ lè rí àwọn tá a rí nǹkan tó ṣe à ń forí ṣe à ń fọhùn ṣe fún ojú yín ní ìyẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ yìí òun ló ń ka yẹn ó tẹ̀ ẹsẹ̀ tó dùn mí fún jù àwọn tètè ọ̀sà kò sí títì létí ọ̀sà tẹ́lẹ̀ kò sí títì létí ọ̀sà igbó ni gbogbo wa ń tẹ̀ ó wá ń wá tó wá láyìn lójú ẹ wá wíta wá ní Peter Obi ẹjọ́ yíbò mélòó ló dìbò fún Tinubu ẹ̀yin lórí burúkú ẹ̀yin ọmọ alẹ́ Yorùbá ẹ wá lọ ń tẹ̀ka fún Peter Obi tí wọn bá wà kọsẹ̀já ayé yín dáadáa ẹ lọ bèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn ìyá yín pé ta ló dún bàbá yín lóyún yíbò ni kò ń ṣe Yorùbá yíbò òun ni kò ṣe Yorùbá ẹni tí Tinubu bá wò Tinubu kí ló fẹ́ ṣe fún yín ẹ lọ́pọ̀lọ́ ẹ ti dọ́ba ọmọ tó bí lànà kò lọ́pọ̀lọ́ tó Tinubu ẹni kọ̀tọ̀kọ̀tọ̀ ló ń sọ wọ́wọ́wọ́ ló ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ń sọ Peter Obi ọ̀sọ̀ wọ́wọ́ tó lágbo ẹyọkan lòun ní ó ní bàtà ẹyọkan lòun ní bàtà yóò ń ṣe wèrè èèyàn tó tọ́ wípé bàtà ẹyọkan lòun ó yẹ ká ti kà kó pé wèrè ni wèrè ló ń wọ bàtà ẹyọkan wèrè ló ń wọ bàtà ẹyọkan ló ń lágbo ẹyọkan ọmọ tó bí lànà ògòjẹ sọ pé bàtà ẹyọkan lòun ní ẹbí bí bàbá ọlọ́run jìráàfù bó ṣe dé nìyẹn tó ní Tinubu ò lọ́rùn tóun lọ́rùn sí òun lọ́rùn sí ó ní ṣé ó ń ta mọ́tò ni tóun náà ń ta mọ́tò ni ẹ mọ yọkádà tó ọmọ ẹ fi lásídẹ̀ǹtì ẹ mọ yọkádà tó fi lásídẹ̀ǹtì tó rà gọ̀ wa Yorùbá gọ̀ tá a bá gọ̀ ni ẹ̀yin Yorùbá ẹ máa mú ó ṣe jẹ́ pé kọ Yorùbá tiwa ni ò ń jọ wá lójú ẹ jẹ́ kíkọ̀ tiwa náà máa jọ wá lójú ẹ jẹ́ kó ṣe ẹ̀fí lọ́rùn lẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe pa Bíọ́lá ẹ má pa á 8 years ló máa ṣe lójú ẹ̀ nìyí aṣọ ọdún mẹ́jọ yẹn.
Jagunjagun 8 years ló máa ṣe. I am sorry for those who probably didn't understand Yoruba, but I will tell you what she said, okay? First, she danced, and it's like a warrior dance. Sure, you get it's like a war dance by a warrior and all that, by warriors, so to say. Olórí ogun ò gbọdọ̀ kẹ́yìn ogun, jagun ló ń bọ̀. What that means is, in this song, was saying that the leader of, the leader of a battalion, the leader of the war, will not stay behind the battalion, his own army. He will lead his own army. Then she turned to that rage and rant. According to her, she said, only the unfortunate Yorubas rejected Tinubu. She said, those unfortunate Yorubas who have sold their parents' houses to Igbos, they were the ones who decided to go and vote for Peter Obi and rejected their own blood, Tinubu. She said, if they investigate many of these Yorubas that rejected Tinubu, they will realize that they are not real Yorubas. So they will realize that they should go and ask their mothers. They will realize that their mothers were impregnated by Igbos. He said a lot of you were complaining that Tinubu is, what do you call it? Is sick. And she was like, let her do it. I mean, let him do it too. Let Tinubu do it too. Peter Obi said he only has one watch, one wristwatch, one shoe. Does that make any sense to all of you? That's how they lied to you. That's how Bokwari came and he lied to all of you. Bukwari said he only had one cow. So Peter B is now saying he only had one wristwatch. He only had one shoe. Is that not a sign for you to know that he is a liar? That he is coming there to that now when he comes to power, he will now be Lord all over you and all of that stuff. That leave Tinubu, he will do 8 years and there's nothing you can do about it. Amen, sister. Let's dance again. Now, fast forward to 9 months later, ladies and gentlemen.
Àwọn kidnapper tó jẹ́ agbádùn a lè sún àlè wà ní security kò sí náà kò sómi kò sóúnjẹ kò sí nǹkankan kí ló dé ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ ṣàánú wa ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ ṣàánú àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù náà gbogbo àwọn àgbàlagbà ti kú tán ọmọdé kékeré ti kú tán ebi ló pa wọ́n tẹ́ ẹ bá rí ṣe mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ lẹ̀ ṣe bá wà ládìbò fún yín àwọn aládìbò fún yín mo wà láàrin ọjà níjẹta wọ́n ń fà mí láṣọ báyìí ni pé madam jẹ báyìí lẹ́bàá dídọ́ ká dìbò fún APC náà ládìbò fún ilé bí ń pa wá gbogbo èyí tá wà nídìí ọ̀tẹ̀ yìí ọ̀tẹ̀ máa bá yín tọmọtọmọ ni ọ̀tẹ̀ máa bá yín Indomie tá a rà 50 naira ó ti di 500 naira kí ló dé agolo ráìsì 1,300 ṣé gbèsè ayé là ń gbé yìí ẹ̀yin ọmọ Nàìjíríà jẹ́ ká pariwo a room sell 400,000 kí ló dé wọ́n gbé 70,000 wá sínú yàrá kan kí là ń lò níná kí ló dé. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Nàìjíríà ẹ ti sùn ẹ dìde lẹ̀ àwọn ìjọba fẹ́ pa wá gbogbo nǹkan ti gbówó lórí Tinubu Buhari sínétọ̀ pé máa bá yín tọmọtọmọ ẹsẹ̀ tó ń ṣe dẹni tí ò lè ṣe mọ́ ayé yìí ti bàjẹ́ ẹ̀yin APC Tinubu tó bá ti mọ̀ pé òun ṣe mọ́ gbé sílẹ̀ tó bá ti mọ̀ pé òun lè ṣe mọ́ gbé sílẹ̀ kí ló dé o fẹ́ pa wá ni àwọn NEPA tún gbé tiwọn wá adébdìbò olórí burúkú ọmọ àlè Ìbàdàn láti ọdún mo ti dé láyé mi mọ̀ pé sọ́sídì wà lórí iná inú 2024 ni mo mọ̀ pé sọ́sídì wà lórí iná ó tún lọ́wọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sọ́sídì orí owó náà NEPA tá à ń lò yàrá kan ni mò ń gbé fáànù nìkan ni mo ní wọ́n gbé 70,000 wá bẹ̀ ẹ má ṣòfò tọmọtọmọ ni gbogbo èyí tẹ́ ń Nàìjíríà pátápátá. Indomie tá a rà 50 naira ó ti di 500 naira kí ló dé agolo ráìsì 1,300 ṣé gbèsè ayé là ń gbé yìí ẹ̀yin ọmọ Nàìjíríà jẹ́ ká pariwo a room sell 400,000 kí ló dé wọ́n gbé 70,000 wá sínú yàrá kan kí là ń lò níná kí ló dé. à ń búra wa jẹ kiri oúnjẹ àárọ̀ ò bá tọ̀sán mọ́ oúnjẹ ọ̀sán ò bá talẹ́ mọ́ kí ló dé ẹ̀yin APC tábà rí ṣe máa jẹ́ kẹ́lòmíì ṣe ẹ má pa wá tó díẹ̀ àwọn kidnapper tún jẹ́ agbádùn a lè sún àlè wà ní security kò sí náà kò sómi kò sóúnjẹ kò sí nǹkankan kí ló dé ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ ṣàánú wa ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ ṣàánú àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù náà gbogbo àwọn àgbàlagbà ti kú tán ọmọdé kékeré ti kú tán ebi ló pa wọ́n tẹ́ ẹ bá rí ṣe mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ lẹ̀ ṣe bá wà ládìbò fún yín mo wà láàrin ọjà níjẹta wọ́n ń fà mí láṣọ báyìí ni pé madam jẹ báyìí lẹ́bàá dídọ́ ká dìbò fún APC náà ládìbò fún.
àtiṣetẹ́ àti ń parọ́ tipẹ́ àtiṣetẹ́ tìtò òdìmú òdodo òsì mọ́ àtiṣetẹ́ kágbádé fálárì àtiṣetẹ́ adájọ́ ń parọ́ torí owó àtiṣetẹ́ òtìlú ń parọ́ nítorí ipò àtiṣetẹ́ èdò gbówó mi nífẹ̀ àtiṣetẹ́ ìyà ń jà aráàlú àtiṣetẹ́ àti ń parọ́ tipẹ́ àtiṣetẹ́ tìtò òdìmú òdodo òsì mọ́ àtiṣetẹ́ kágbádé fálárì àtiṣetẹ́ adájọ́ ń parọ́ torí owó àtiṣetẹ́ òtìlú ń parọ́ nítorí ipò àtiṣetẹ́ èdò gbówó mi nífẹ̀.
Etishebo. That's the lady there. And like I told you, just watch them. If you have a son or a daughter that sees Tinubu as a role model, oh, Bimo, you have no children. And listen to me, if your parents are somehow defender of Tinubu APC, ni parenti. God just used them to bring you to this mystery world, and this you may not understand. It's okay. You will still understand it. You know what I mean? So when you have people like that, you do a Romobi, pure waste of oxygen, so to say. they will do it again. They will. They will curse, they will cry, they will do all of that. But let somebody call and say, how much is your rent? Let me tell you why she's screaming, so that you can know. That lady that was cursing Yoruba almost a year ago for Tinubu. She's now cursing Tinubu, cursing the people and everybody in APC. She's like, we are hungry. Everything is expensive now. A cup of rice, 18 cup of rice is now 1,200. The NEPA bill, the electricity bill has skyrocketed. They actually charged her 70,000 naira for electricity, and she was like, I only live in one room. And then one phone. How can I be charged 70,000 naira? What kind of a thing is this? Do you want to kill all of us? Tinubu, if you can no longer do it, please leave that place. All of you. Now, God will destroy you and your family as you are destroying us today. What did we do? The last time, 3 days ago, I was in the market and everybody was just dragging me and pulling me here. Madam, you told us to vote for APC. Look at what they are doing to us now. Look at. I beg you never to get swayed by their tears. It's not real. They are so selfish that if I begin to analyze their selfishness to you and how dangerous their selfishness is and how myopic, short-sightedness they are, how short-sighted they are, we'll probably spend the rest of the evening talking about that. Do not buy any of their tears. So whatever shake everybody is going through right now, just continue going until you are tired. And when you are tired, we will know. We will know. So make a good, for some of you still watching, especially the Agbadorians, who believes that there is some magic that these criminals are going to perform. And all of these things, everything will begin to look fine. Everything will begin to calm down. And all those nonsense you are telling yourself to avoid this, in order not to drench yourself in this trauma in a way, to escape this trauma. Only escape. So if you look at all these clowns and what is coming out of their mouth, and you sit down there, and you still think, Tinubu and his guys, they are doing something that some of us don't understand. That's why we are criticizing. That's why we are, Baba, you will soon upload your own video too. When it touch you, you will make a video. I will see the video. I will show your fellow Agbadorians. Kadoso Kadibi, Abi Kadobi, it was after reading that prepared nonsense that he blamed those of you who are schooling abroad too. Those of you who are going for medical abroad, when the real people, the real culprits who uses Nigeria Forex for all of this are Kadoso himself, his family members, and the rest of their own elite circle. So after reading that jargons, they started asking him questions. So this might be a little bit longer, okay? I need you to look at the central bank governor of Nigeria. What he is saying in relation, relative to what is happening in Nigeria. I'll come back intermittently. Kadoso Reo.
His members is that given the limitation of these various monetary policies in addressing this cost push inflation, what other alternatives or complementary strategies is the CBN considering to combat the inflation? In specific terms, they want to hear that. And whether there are plans to adjust the current monetary policy rate strategy in line with the prevailing economic situation. This is some of the things they are trying to capture in the varieties of the questions that they are asking around inflation. So let's hear specifically. Nigerians want to know what measures.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I think it's important to say that monetary policy tools can only take us so far. The idea is not to rely on monetary policy tools. Monetary policy tools have a way of moderating a situation where the macroeconomic variables are getting imbalanced. The monetary policy tools on their own are not sufficient, and neither should they be considered as long-term to be reliant on. They cannot be. They help a situation stabilize, but ultimately it requires the work of the fiscal. And that is why it is so important that both the fiscal and the monetary must work hand in hand. We have absolutely no doubt in our minds that the monetary doing it all on its own will not work. We have no doubt about that. So let me be very clear on that. That's not the idea. The idea is to at least be able to buy time and give relief to the system, while the other inefficiencies or things that are not working as effectively as they should now kick in.
So is there collaboration with you and the Minister of Finance in seeing that fiscal and monetary policies align in tackling this inflation? Is it there?
Yes, it is. And for the avoidance of doubt, because it's very important. I know many times the question is asked about the relationship between the Ministry of Finance and the central bank, which is very important. And to answer that question before I say something else, we already have joint committees that meet on a very, very regular basis to look at these issues in a harmonized manner. That's one. Some of you.
Honorable colleagues, this is a dignified, sacred house. You should allow the minister to answer the questions, please. The governor, please. The governor.
So we already have committees that work very, very close together to harmonize positions that are being taken. And of course, on the board of the central bank, there's strong representation from the fiscal side. So we ensure that at all times that collaboration is in check and is working smoothly. And where I was going to was, apart from the Ministry of Finance, it is also important that the central bank collaborates with other entities of government. Okay, for example, now we spoke about the NNPC, that NNPC moving its accounts towards the central bank also makes for greater collaboration between the two. And Mr. President's directive that all MDAs should have their accounts with the central bank, I think also speaks volumes of the kind of collaboration.
Okay, let me save you the stress. Like I said, I will be coming in intermittently. That is the Central Bank Governor of Nigeria. Okay, the man who is in charge of the monetary policies for the country. Okay, now the question is about inflation, which means that the Central Bank of the country would have to make laws that would help sort of streamline and or balance the I'm about to start speaking grammar that won't make any sense to all of you, but let me use my own term. Okay, so the central bank of a country, right? They are the ones who set interest rates. Okay, they are the ones who, apart from the fact that it's the apex bank that house all banks, is the bank of all banks. Okay, but policy wise, they are the ones who set interest rates. They are the ones who gauge inflation rates. So when inflation and then interest, how to balance them to make sure that the biting of inflation, which is probably going to okay, the biting is sort of reduce or balance. You'll still feel it. Okay, things will go up, but businesses, they will still have access to easy sort of loans to shore up and back up any sort of a shock that their business might suffer and all that. The job of the central bank. The central bank, apart from printing money and supply of money in the circulation, which is also theirs, they determine how much of money is actually cash, available cash, whether it's in the bank or is in your pockets in the circulation. They will be able to determine that and control that. But you see, the Central Bank of Nigeria have lost all of that. It has gone completely to the dogs. And you see, this Cardoso and his crook, the one that is talking there, also knows that there is nothing called Central Bank of Nigeria anymore in the real sense of it. Setting monetary policies or setting this or something to target inflation, they are just all jargons that in practice, practically, right? They have no idea. Here you get. So they can bamboozle you with grammar. The question is, inflation, they kill Nigerians. What is the central bank doing to ensure that that inflation is reduced? If inflation is reduced, cost of living will reduce. But in Nigeria, when they go up, they come down. You can listen to all grammars you want. But again, I'm going to ask this. Watching that Cardoso talking there, you who has business in Nigeria, those of you who are living in Nigeria, facing this whole hardship, looking for answer, and these are the guys in charge. It is what they do. They will either make or mar the economy of Nigeria even further. These are not just people talking. These are those who determines the value of that naira in your pocket. That guy is one of them. So when they talk, you have to listen. It's so unfortunate that the morons, the clowns, the criminals, somebody asked that, are they all stupid or they are just acting stupid? Listen to me. We have established that our brains, as critical, as important as a critical organ as it starts working from the day we were born. 7 days, I mean, they say 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year until you join the APC. Because you have to be a criminal to be able to function well in a criminal environment. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. You must be a criminal. APC gives you opportunity to thrive as a criminal. And these guys are not stupid. They just want to continue to stupefy the whole country, confuse you, while the rest of the people paid to further attack and gaslight you will finish the job. They are not stupid. They are criminals. And thank God for the social media. Today, when they sneeze, we'll see it. When they pee, we'll see that. When they fart, we'll hear it. Now, hearing everything they do and exposing everything they do gives us a very big and good insight into all the causes of the problems in Nigeria and the people behind it. That's for social media. And that is too much for these clowns. It is too much for them to handle. Usually all they needed to do was to pay people, pay this, pay the media, and shut things down and continue to mislead the people. But social media became a big something that overwhelmed them. They are not stupid. They are criminals. Do you understand? So Cardoso is not just anybody. It's not just appointment. That is your central bank governor. How do you intend to bring down, how does your policies intend to bring down inflation and bring down the cost of living and all of these things? Because it is your job. Now, you are collaborating with who? Ministry of Finance, Ministry of this or that. He started talking about committees. Is that the caliber of people you are expecting to turn things around? Are those people they told you are working with Tinubu that are going to turn things around for you? And you believe them? I have more. Here. Further questions, so they are probing him. This time he's not reading it. And all they can do is like they have all received the same tutorial. Just make sure that whatever you are saying, keep dropping grammars, okay? Keep dropping big grammars. That will keep them confused. No, we are not confused. We can see through the old lies very, very clearly. There is another one. They're still talking to him about Nigeria economy that is doing shege to all of you right now. Cardoso.
Is already showing. You see, the mere fact that I said that liquidity has gone up to $844 million as at yesterday is testimony to that. And I'm confident that we are headed in the right direction and these things will moderate and find their own level. The distortions in the foreign exchange market over a period of time has created, in my view, an artificially high rate. And now that we've removed most of those distortions, we see a situation where those who stayed out of the market are now coming back in, and the concept of willing buyer and willing seller is beginning to realize the objectives as they were set out for in the first place. So I have no doubt in my mind that on the foreign exchange side, we are headed in the right direction. I have no doubt about that in my mind.
I like the conviction on your face. Yeah, you're very sure what you're saying. That is what Nigerians need to see. And let me ask you, why is it that you've not initiated the engagement with the parliament as allowed by the CBN Act? You see why they are raising all their hands?
Yes.
It's because they have piled questions that have been unanswered because of that lack of engagement. Yes. Are you planning to activate that part of the Act to periodically engage with the House to update them on what you are doing so that they will be carried along?
Yes. No, and to be frank, this is Mr. Speaker, this is an excellent observation. Let me say something though. This has been a particularly difficult few months where we had to really double down and understand what was going on. Some of which is very complicated, and we had to take our time to unbundle a lot of things and try certain things, discard others, and some of the circulars that we brought out a number of circulars in the past week.
He's answering the question as to whether he will be interacting with you as allowed by the CBN Act. It is important that we hear him, honorable colleagues, please. Thank you.
And some of the circulars that we have brought out, they take a lot of time to come to a final stage, a lot of time. So there was not, put in one form, a lot of work has been work in progress. It has been work in progress. Now we have rolled them out, and we are very happy for the opportunity to be able to come and explain to the House how far we have gone and what the future pertains is. And as I said, to emphasize again, I'm very, very positive of the future in the foreign exchange market for Nigeria. And going forward, we will definitely use this opportunity to engage a lot better. And it's very important because our monetary policy committee, for example, our monetary policy, it is important to be able to communicate to the outside world what we are doing. And in that process, the House of Rep is a very critical voice that will be like an interlocutor between us and the people out in the constituencies. We recognize that, and we will do everything possible to make use of this particular body.
Thank you very much. There's a question that you have not addressed from Ali Madaki. He said there have been other CBN governors.
Yeah.
That you came and you are taking some part of the headquarters to Lagos. Is it a politically influenced decision or cost effectiveness strategic action?
Sure.
That people need to hear it. What is it about?
Yes.
Is it political so that they can educate their constituents?
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. To answer, quite frankly, nothing political about it. Let me be upfront about that. Absolutely nothing political about it. The central bank.
Let's say that we are not interested in that. But just for the discerning minds watching this broadcast, what Cardoso is talking about, trying some policies, discarding out others, is pretty much in contrast to what they told you. Kolu that has been preparing to be president for 30 years. So here is their central bank governor saying they have been doing trial and error with monetary policies, which has continued to kill businesses in Nigeria. And then he's now saying they figure out another one that is so positive that in the future, the problem of Forex are going to be out of the picture. Nigerians will have Forex, blah, 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 blah. And he pointed at and announced $825 million. They said they have managed to cough out or scrap out of the banks when they told them never to pay out in dollars anymore. I told you that they denied the policy, Abi, but it is already served on the banks, and they are expecting, according to their projection, at least $800 million cash from that this February. Now, gambling, you get, However, is banking on Nigeria's sufficiency on Forex on something he never mentioned there, but I'll tell you. That's part of it. They said, all of you have a domiciliary account in Nigeria. They are coming for your money. All of us in the diaspora, they want us to send money through them. In fact, they would like us to send money and send the money for free, like no charges. So that all the money you want to send to Nigeria, they are targeting just 10% of it. They are telling themselves that they don't have to get greedy. If Nigerians they are remitting over over $40 billion into Nigeria from all over the world, if they can just get 10% of that, $4 billion a year for a start, then Nigeria can count on a dependable Forex. What do you call them in Nigeria? This was the gamblers. They were using you to play, they are using your future to play 2 sure, 3 sure. And the moment they couldn't get 1% of our money from the diaspora, the expectation was not. There is no real planned investment in the real sector, power sector, infrastructure, industry. I mean, the industries that needs maybe some subsidy bailing out to keep jobs. They're not doing anything about that. They are counting on the monies that are in the air, the one they can scrap from anywhere in the air. And that's what they're banking on. And that is what your central bank governor is very positive about that. The issue of dollars and how you go soft soon. And they floated your Naira. They said Naira will find its level. Omitigbe Naira low. But with Cardoso, no real production in Nigeria, no improvement in power supply or generation in Nigeria. But Cardoso believed that Odutugbe Naira law can also bring Naira back. And he is very sure. One for life in Tagambu. And you're arguing with me. Because you believe that he knows what he's saying. Because the problem, in 6 months' time, one of your videos will come to me like this.
I'm not happy with my president. I'm regretting for voting for my president and for voting for APC. Because this is not what we voted for. No, we are not voting for, we're not voting for suffering. We voted for peace, tranquility, and for to alleviate poverty. Let me tell you, if he and his planners are giving reduced fuel price, it will reach common man on the street rather than giving it to private sector who are already bellyful. They are going to share this money, no doubt about it. What do we gain for the past 7 months? We voted for President Tinubu in Milokan. I'm a Yoruba man. I regretted for voting for him because this is not what we bargained for. I'm also a retired director. I'm telling you, a retired director collecting 75,000 naira at federal. You have 5 children or 4 children. How would you cope? Nothing for retirees. We are still suffering. They are telling us that we should manage. The vice president said we should pay 1% for 10 years. So until all Nigerians die finish before they can resuscitate us. Let God spade a spade. This government is not doing well. Thank you. I'm not happy with my...
In 6 months' time, you're going to come here. If not you, your parents. When you continue to believe the jargons coming out of these opportunists, pickpockets, bunch of old criminals in suits and babariga.
This is ODUA TV Watch. Don't forget to subscribe, comment your opinion, like, comment and share so that other people can get access to what you enjoy on our channel. Thank you. We love you.